Okay, ladies, the recording has started.
Great. Hi, everybody. My name is Emma Zone, and I'm joined by my co-presenter, Racquel Isaacs, and we're super excited to share a little bit about our journey with Green Compass, why we decided to become advocates, and how it fits into our lives as businesswomen. So we're going to sort of tag team this today, share a little bit about our background, about why we chose to partner with Green Compass, and sort of how it's impacted us. So we're really excited to be here. I'm going to kick things off. As I mentioned, my name is Emma. I live in Katy, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston. We've lived here for about 12 years. I'm married to my husband, Andy. We have 3 kids that range in age from 7 to 13. So busy both personally and professionally. Professionally, currently I own my own consulting company that focuses on organizational development and strategic consulting. I work with nonprofits, companies, higher education institutions to help them with their strategic planning and their operations. But prior to that, I was a vice provost at a university, and I was also an executive at an ed tech startup, which was just acquired last month, which is super exciting. So I have an interesting mix of both educational leadership and also business building as a part of my background. But really through all of that, I see myself as a teacher. I call myself as leader as teacher. So I think that everything we do, whether it's leading a team or building a business, in some way we're kind of teaching people about what we're doing. And so a lot of that has sort of filtered into my business here at Green Compass, and why I have found this to be such a rewarding experience. Currently, I'm also an associate professor, but I actually started my career as a high school English teacher. So again, pretty interesting mix. I'm going to kick it over to Racquel. She's going to share a little bit about her background as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Racquel Isaacs, and I am a business owner and network marketing professional. I absolutely love business and have always had an entrepreneurial spirit. So just a little bit about me. I actually am from Jamaica, West Indies, and I moved here very, very young. That's why I don't have much of an accent anymore. And I grew up in New York and moved to Charlotte, North Carolina about 10 years ago. I went to school for business and studied finance, and right out of college, I started my very first company. I was an educational consultant, and I worked with high school students, helping them navigate the scholarship research, financial aid, and college admissions process. It was a great experience for me. I learned a lot, but I've always loved business. And I started Green Compass about less than a year ago in August of 2019, and have been so excited to be a part of this company and be a part of this team. Just a little bit more about me. Outside of doing that company, I also started a coaching company and a financial accounting firm, because I love business and I love women in business. Most of the businesses that I do work with, I tend to work with a lot of women. And primarily women-owned small businesses, and I get very, very nervous when I have to speak. And I know that a lot of people are on here, so just bear with me as I get my bearings. So my coaching company, it's a financial coaching company, and I help women and individuals navigate personal and business finance mastery. And I've been doing that for about 5 years now and absolutely love it. Business have always been my biggest passion. And I learned about network marketing when I was in college, and I fell in love with business, with the business model, and believe in the business model. So that's kind of how I learned more about Green Compass and wanted to participate. So I am going to kick it right back over to you, Emma, and I'd like for you to share why you decided to partner with Green Compass.
Thanks. And I think it's sort of interesting because we're both really passionate about empowering women as business owners. So we definitely share that as a part of our DNA, I think. But unlike Racquel, I really didn't have any kind of knowledge of the network marketing industry or direct sales. You know, I knew some friends who had done it before, but it really wasn't something that was on my radar. And I heard about Green Compass in late August of 2019. My good friend Chanel, who is now director with the company, introduced me to the products. And I had reached out to her, like the story that we hear from many people, which is I knew that her family had seen success with CBD. I was interested in trying it for myself, my family. So I gave her a call, and I still distinctly remember being on a walk with my dog in the middle of the day and her telling me about this new company that she found and really talking through all of the great assets about Green Compass. I could hear the excitement in her voice, and sort of by the end of that conversation, I knew that I would purchase it, right? It really still wasn't on my radar that I would be an advocate. But the preferred customer route sounded like a good thing for me. And so I went home and I purchased the product. But what's funny is that, I'm a researcher by training. So I have a doctoral degree. I feel like I've been in school my whole life. I, have two master's degrees, and I went on to get my doctorate, and I love to learn and I love to research. So in that time that I had placed my first order, waiting for my products to arrive and thinking about the excitement that Chanel had shared, I did more and more research about CBD, about the network marketing space, about Green Compass. And I sort of quickly started to realize, wow, maybe this is something that I should look into as an opportunity, just because it seemed to be something that was interesting and a new route for me. And this is while I was still working, as an executive in the technology company that I was helping to build. But something was sort of pulling at me to continue down the road to learn more. And so I ended up joining as an advocate even before those products arrived, just because I felt like it was going to be a really great decision for me and my family. There are a few things that really stood out to me as a part of this opportunity when I made that decision. Again, coming with very little experience in understanding even what to look for in a direct sales company. But a few of these things I think transcend the marketplace. And the first was timing. Knowing that the company was so new, knowing we're really at our beginning stages, really was something that I thought was great. Like I mentioned, I did have some friends who were doing other type of direct sales, and I knew that those who had gotten in early really had seen some great results. And I thought, well, it's not too often that you can get involved with a company when they're at that sort of infant stage and help to build it and be a part of that early kind of momentum. And I like that, right? I did that as a part of a startup. I've done that as a part of my career. And so that part was really familiar to me and exciting to me. And so I thought, well, again, something a little different, but still something that I value. So the timing was key for me. The second thing is just the CBD market space. This is something, you hear if you've been on any of these calls before, but knowing that CBD has a market space that is a trajectory that's, setting off into the unknown is really exciting to me. And knowing that it's something that people are looking to learn more about, and learning is part of my jam, right? I want to help people learn more. And so knowing that I could be a trusted resource in a space that's really exploding was also something that I found to be really exciting. The third thing was the mission of the company and the quality and innovation that go along with that. So, I have an educator's heart, so I need to be working with and for organizations that have a real push to want to educate the marketplace as well. And I felt that very strongly with Green Compass. And then obviously also the quality. I mean, the quality is truly unmatched. You can hear all about our USDA organic certification and the fact that we have third-party testing, all those wonderful things that you want to have checked off in that checklist if you're looking to use CBD. But even beyond that is really the innovation piece, and that is also really important to me. So again, having a background in technology and in launching a business, that innovation really is something that had to be on the list for me, because I'm not the kind of person who's satisfied with the status quo. I don't think anybody who is an entrepreneur in business is. So having that was also really important to me as well. And then the final thing was the risk factor. Even though I like the idea of building a business, I wouldn't say I'm the riskiest person on the planet. I've never gone bungee jumping or anything like that. So I was concerned about the risk, but to me, it was like, there really isn't a big risk here. I mean, it's not a lot to get started. And even though I didn't have the familiarity with the space of direct sales, I still felt like the risk was low enough that I could give it a shot, see what I could learn, and see if it's something I could excel at. And that was also really exciting for me as well. In the work that I do, part of how I've been trained as a researcher is to use critical questioning, whether it's personally when I'm reflecting on something, or if I'm leading a group of people or an organization through strategic planning. Critical questioning is a huge part of my background and my training. So I did that when I was thinking about whether I really wanted to start this journey as an advocate. And the question that I asked myself, going through a litany of them, but the one that stood out is sort of, what's the worst thing that can happen? It's an interesting test case when you're trying to make a decision. It might not be the most positive framing, but it does tell you where you stand in your gut and whether you think, this is something you'd be willing to take on. And for me, it was like, there really wasn't a worst thing. And it became pretty clear that it wasn't, because I knew I would end up, even if I didn't do anything with the business, with products and some learning along the way. Of course, it's turned out to be much more than that, and definitely more successful. But it's been definitely, a fun experience for me as I've kind of worked this business alongside the other things that I have going on in my life. Racquel, I know that you have some similarities with those core bits that you and I both talked about the other day, with why this was such a great experience and compelling for you as well. So why don't you share a bit about why you chose Green Compass?
Absolutely. I just want to go ahead and say ditto. Ditto to everything that you said. Now that all of my nerves have managed to go away, I'd like to share how I came about to be a partner with Green Compass. So my mom has actually been taking CBD. I've been purchasing it for her for a while. And, for all the benefits and all the reasons that I researched and learned about. And as I said earlier, I love business. I love to start businesses. I love to help other people start their business. And I think that's one of the reasons why network marketing had appealed to me. And I learned about it in college. I got exposed to network marketing at a very, very young age. And for all of those reasons that you shared earlier, the timing, learning about a company at its inception. I mean, I think I got started in August. The company launched in January, February of that year. It couldn't have been any sooner unless I was a part of the pre-launch. So that was absolutely incredible. But learning about it in college, understanding what you need to be successful in network marketing and building from the ground floor of that opportunity is just amazing. That's one of the reasons why I got involved. And I went out, as I said, I love to start businesses. I went out to look for a CBD company that I wanted to create. And it's so funny. I was out with my crochet buddies, and we were at this at a oh my gosh, it's not coming to me right now. But we were out having drinks and crocheting, and someone came and gave a flyer for a CBD convention. And of course, I'm the only one who wanted to go. None of my friends wanted to go. They thought I was crazy, but I was like, I'm going. And I went, and the second booth that I went to, I met someone for Green Compass. And as he was talking, he wasn't saying a lot. And I said, is this a network marketing company? He said, yes. I said, okay, I know a lot about network marketing. Just give me the bullet points. And the first three things that he said, I knew that I was going to take advantage of this opportunity. It was really that simple for me. I did have to go ahead and do my due diligence, but I knew that this was an opportunity that I was going to get involved in. I walked around, I looked at a bunch of different companies, I got a lot of ideas, and then I came back, finished up my conversation with him. I left that event with goosebumps, literal goosebumps, because I was so excited, because knowing what I know about network marketing as an industry, as a type of industry and a business model, knowing what I know about CBD, the fact that this industry is at its infancy. There's so little that's known about it. There's so much research. There's so much potential, so much possibility. That's what gave me goosebumps. The idea that this company is just launching, this industry is at its very, very inception, and it's poised to be like billion-dollar company, $20 billion company within the next 3 years. Why would I not have goosebumps? All the things that I thought about when I was a little girl, and when I was younger, and thinking about, being a business person and being able to lead and being able to train and being able to help people change their lives for the, financially for the better, that all became very apparent for me, very visual, having that conversation with Adam on August 17th in 2019. And I left there so excited. I came home, I could not sleep. I really couldn't. I spent the entire night researching Green Compass, any information that I could find about it, researching other network marketing companies that were in the CBD space that I didn't even know was around. And at the end of the day, this was just the best, smartest decision. So I looked at this, in addition to everything that you said, Emma, I looked at this as the opportunity that it was, a ground floor network marketing opportunity in a business that is in a new industry that is poised for growth. There, as a business person and someone who knows network marketing, there was no way that I could go wrong with this. There was no way that I was going to say no. And I've been thrilled and excited ever since, and I'm so happy that I did. So it was really just that simple for me, because it's funny, I heard you say you're not a big risk taker. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a big risk taker all the time. I'm always starting businesses, and I would go bungee jumping. I've even skydived. That's something that I would do. But this was, like you said, absolutely no risk. There was nothing involved. There's a system that's already designed. There's so much support that's offered. There's no reinventing the wheel. It's just follow the plan, build a team, train, help other people, and help them to be successful. That's all it is. And that's at the core of who I am and what I love to do, is helping people achieve the things that they want to do. And Green Compass came along and presented it in a beautifully wrapped CBD bow, poised for like billionaire status. Why would I say no?
Yeah.
So that it was really simple for me. And I always tell people it's a funny story how I got involved. I got involved because I went looking to start a CBD business. And I went out doing market research, and I found a company that gave me everything I needed with very little risk and very little capital investment. So very, very simple for me. So I'm going to just toss it on over to you. And I'd like to know how has being a part of Green Compass impacted you, Emma?
Yeah, thanks. I love the juxtaposition of our experiences. It's really kind of fun to hear. So I joined in September of 2019. I initially ordered those products at the end of August. And then, like I said, within a week, I signed on, became an advocate, promoted pretty quickly within the first couple of months. And my team continues to grow, so it's been fun to watch that over time as well. But I like what you said about the idea of having a system and a process, because I've spent my whole career in both academic and business operations, designing processes, designing systems, designing training, designing, creating. And I'm going to be honest, one thing that I loved about this business opportunity is that I didn't have to do that. Now, of course, I can be creative and create things as I want, but I absolutely love the idea of being able to take this predetermined plan where there's a ton of support and a ton of training, particularly because I didn't necessarily have that as a part of my background, when it comes to direct sales, and be able to take that and execute on it day after day and see my bottom line grow. That to me is also nice because I'm busy, I'm doing other things, I'm growing another business, I'm a mom, I'm doing all the stuff, right? And so if I think, at the time, also working at a technology company, I didn't want to have to be creating something else alongside all of that other work, but I love the idea of building a business, especially when the system was given to me. So it's impacted me in that way, in that I've been able to build that bottom line and see the impact of that in a way that's been really positive for my family and for me. The other interesting thing is I think it's helped me in other aspects of my business and my professional development, right? So I think one of the things that I didn't quite understand when I joined the company that has become abundantly clear, going back to that mission piece of it, is the amount of personal development training that becomes available to you when you join this company, whether it's through the community that we have, the guest speakers that they introduce to us, the asynchronous training where you can plug in when you have time. Those pieces have filtered into maybe how I've reframed some of what I do in my other business life, because I'm learning some really important lessons and strategies and approaches that I might not have maybe given as much attention to before starting my business with Green Compass. I think that has been a really nice byproduct as well. And then the other thing is just the positive nature of the team. So it's really great to be able to work alongside people and with people who also love the business, love the products, see the impact, and understand what this can do for people, both in terms of helping their health, but also if they're looking to impact their life as well with the business opportunity. So it's nice when you're also dealing with other types of stressors in life, whether it's, family, other work that you're doing, another job that you have, to be able to come to a business model and a community of people who are so positive and who are here to help you, right? It's not this sort of thing where it's everyone, every man for himself, or every woman for herself. It really is about collaborative community, sharing ideas, figuring out what's working well for our teams, troubleshooting, having accountability partners. I see my accountability partner has tuned in today. So just having that support to be able to lift each other up, especially when, you're trying to learn something new or maybe trying something new, and having it be positive has been also, a great thing. And then of course, just the incentives and fun that goes along with it. Having different, incentives month over month. Again, is not why I joined the company, but it sure is fun, and it's good to have fun, and it makes it, more exciting to be a part of a team that's like that. So there's been lots of impacts. I'm looking forward to seeing what the additional impacts are. And I know, Racquel, you've seen them as well. So what about you? What are some of the things that have sort of impacted your life since joining as an advocate?
It's really interesting. Even though we've come about this in different ways and different paths, it's definitely not that dissimilar from what you have shared. I can go ahead and say ditto as well. I love working with a team. I love, I'm one of those self-starters. And I love a challenge, so if you're a self-starter, if you love a challenge, and you love working with people and helping people, this is just the perfect business for just about anyone. I tell people I'm a Virgo, and I'm like a true Virgo. For me, being successful is really about helping others and sharing it with other people. So every business that I've started by myself. And, being an entrepreneur at times, when you're mostly a solopreneur, it can get very, very lonely, and if you like working with other people, that's the benefit of being a part of a company like Green Compass, because you're always working for yourself, but you're never working by yourself. And that, for me, has always been the big draw with network marketing. And that, for me, has always been the biggest impact, is being able to pour into other people and help them grow as I learn from them and grow myself. It's so interdependent. So even though you're working for yourself, your success is not, I don't want to say it's dependent on someone else's success, but it helps you be more successful to help other people be successful. So you get to take the focus really off yourself, and you grow and you get so much bigger when you really turn around and you focus on helping other people. There's not that many businesses where you can actually say that. And for me, that's the biggest impact, is knowing that I could turn around and I could pour time, attention, and assistance into someone else with love and support, and see them flourish, and it improves my bottom line. I mean, how many other businesses can you say that you can do that with? So that, for me, has been the biggest impact. And I know we're getting close to time, so I just want to share about how I balance my time with being a business owner and then, doing Green Compass as well. For me, it's all about a power hour. It's all about just sitting down. And the great thing about this business that anyone can start is if you are just consistent and you put aside, even if all you could do is 1 hour per day, and you're doing that hour consistently every day or just 5 days a week, you will have success in this business. So for me, balance is really about looking at my schedule and creating a plan and working the plan. And that's how I do it. Some days I can do 30 minutes, some days I could do an hour, some days I could do 4 hours, you know, um, but it's really about just owning my schedule, owning my time, and mastering that. And that's how I have achieved balance. Emma, how have you achieved balance with your schedule?
Yeah, similar. And this is probably the question I get the most. I don't know about you, Raquel, but it is all about incremental time for me. So I'm a calendaring master. I live and die by the kind of moments in time that I have throughout the day. And I would be honest, there are some days I don't do anything with this business, and there are other days I do a lot with it, right? So it all is about how I can look at the trajectory of my week and say, okay, like Monday and Tuesday, I'm tied up doing X, Y, Z, but I'm going to focus on my, follow up to my customers, my outreach on these days. So it's really about consistency for sure, and intentionality, I think, is the biggest thing. And I have found that those that have been most successful on my team are the people that do have a lot going on, because there's this sort of time management piece with understanding when you already have, other things competing for your time, you become pretty adept at finding time for the things that are important to you. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, right? I mean, this business is work. You do have to put the time in. It doesn't just magically, materialize into this wonderful thing. But if you take the tools that are given to you and you're able to fit that in from a time perspective, you can see good results. And I think you and I are both a testament to that as well. So that's my kind of way that I fit it in week over week, month over month. And little by little, it turns into, not only success, but we're coming up to, both of us being up to our almost year anniversary here with the company, which is pretty exciting as well. So it's been good. Well, this has been super fun. Hopefully you've all, gotten a little bit of information from us, and that we've inspired you to think a little bit about how this could fit into your lives. Get with the person who shared this with you, continue asking questions, do that due diligence that Racquel talked about, ask those questions like I talked about. But I can say with, total certainty that I don't regret jumping in. And I'm so happy I did it when I did. And I'm glad I didn't wait, because I think that I was ready to go, and I've done nothing but learn and flourish ever since jumping in with Green Compass. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you for being with us today.
Bye all.
Bye, everyone.